Oh my God! Show for the beatdown, what's poppin' with it? Team Blue Hunters, the most entertaining and sexiest team on the MBL Season 2. You know what you need to do right now? Get a t-shirt right now! Links in the description below. You already know what to do, man. Support your teams. All the teams are super dope. We're super tight. And the t-shirt will fit you just right. Let's get it. That was not meant to rhyme. I don't care. Buy it right now, or you're a loser. I said so. Let's go. Get him.
Hey guys, it's Kabutero here with the MBL with another interview. Since the last one went so well, we decided that we're going to try to do one every week. This week, I am joined by Team Flawless. Beryl and Angus can say hi.
Hello.
Hello. Let's just get right into the questions. So first question I have for you two is, what mon do you have the most fun using out of all the ones you've drafted?
Me personally, I've been having a lot of fun with Togekiss. Even since week 1, we got like a double ancient power boost. Just since then, I was like, yeah, this mon's gonna be my champion.
I've really liked Hoopa the most, probably, even though I actually haven't used Hoopa on my side too much. I just really like the fact that it can break through protect. It's so vital and it's so useful in a format like this that it brings a little smile to my face every time somebody tries to protect on Hoopa, which has happened a few times. Probably my favorite.
Then on the other side of the coin, what mon do you wish you could use more, but you just can't seem to justify bringing it over something else on your team?
For me, it's probably Serena. Serena was the grass type that I wanted to draft, and I really like that you can't be hit by priority moves. We just haven't had a need to bring Serena. It just hasn't been vital for anything. I feel like there might be somewhere we can bring it, but it just hasn't been used.
Yeah, and myself, I'm a massive fan of Tentacruel. Like, Beryl will tell you when we were team building the amount of times I've tried to convince her, oh, we can bring Tentacruel, oh, this will be really good. And she's had to talk me down just because it's really quick. It's got really good special defense, and it has got really good special attack, and it has got a couple of interesting moves like Reflect type. It might replace Togekiss as my favorite.
Would you consider, if you made top cut, of course, would you consider dropping Serena for something else, or would you just keep it the whole way?
We definitely drop it because, for those of you listening who don't know, when you hit top cut, you can choose to drop and redraft 3 mons. We'll go more into that obviously when top cut happens, but Serena's definitely on the list. I don't want to reveal like what we might pick up because that's, you know, feature strats, but unless it suddenly becomes like MVP out of nowhere, which I don't see it happening, it's gone.
Yeah, Serena, I definitely think we will drop it. Obviously, we'll look at what our options are. We'll probably maybe drop like maybe 1 or 2 more ones. I imagine as maybe dropping like Tentacle as well. Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, definitely, I think Serena will go unless, as Beryl says, it pulls something out of nowhere and we realise its potential. I think Serena will go bye-bye. Much to Callum's disappointment, because we did draft it and he felt cheated that we got it instead of him, and then we're just going to throw it away.
Yeah. Poor onion waifu.
Poor onion waifu, yeah.
While we're on the topic of drafts, of course, you guys have one of the most aggressive drafts I've personally ever seen in a draft format. You've got the Hoop Unbound, you've got the Salamence, the Mamoswine. Even your support mons in something like Togekiss have very good offensive potential, stuff like Nasty Plot and whatnot. So was this your plan from the start, to just draft all these powerhouse mons and just brute strength your way through the competition? Or did you have a bit of a different plan at the beginning?
From the beginning, Mingurna, Hoopa were definitely the ones that we had our hearts set on, and especially getting first draft, I was very worried that Hoopa would be taken. Well, Hoopa Unbound. Hoopa itself was taken, but Hoopa Unbound, because they're so good together, especially if you can get Trick Room up, or Scarf Hoopa, for example, things like that. They just have so much potential, and then the rest of our draft was a lot more in response to what other people were drafting, but based on what I went through last season, I just feel like you want to be aggressive, but you want to have tricks up your sleeve, you know, some things you can pull out, some strats.
My experience with competitive battling is quite minimal. So when we were going for the draft, I kind of let Beryl take the lead on it. But one thing that I noticed that when we started drafting mons, when it got to things like Salamence and it got to things like Togekiss, I realized it's like, we've actually got a team of monsters, but they actually all really work well together. As you've seen, Tailwind, Trick Room, Sticky Web from Galvantula, even all that speed control tech, which that personally is what I like to do when it does come to competitive battling, having a lot of things of control. But over the time, yeah, it kind of all fit in place together. Obviously, a couple of the tail end ones were kind of just to cover typing, like Beryl says, in response to what our people were drafting. But overall, I'm quite happy with how our team did actually turn out. I wouldn't change much of it, if I'm honest. It's worked quite well for us, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those mons, especially probably the first like 6 or so, were very intentional in what we chose. And then to cover typings, a few of those type choices have proven to be really good, like Galvantula, which I saw potential in when I chose it. But some of them obviously haven't worked out as well, but they're there just to cover typings if we need them. Like Tentacruel, we haven't necessarily needed to bring it, but the water poison is something we really needed. There was quite a lot of thought behind it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, aggressive and powerful mons, let's talk about your logo for a second. There's a toucan in there.
Yes.
However, of course, if you look at your team, there's a very distinct lack of Toucan Sam himself. Was there any point in the draft you were considering picking it up for maybe something like Tailwind, or was that just you decided it was going to be your mascot?
Can I explain this, Beryl?
Yeah.
Because this is all Beryl's doing, okay? So we spent a while trying to work out like what we're going to do for team names, first of all. And then it got to a point where it was like we had like I think a few days, and I was like, okay, Beryl, I'm just going to send you random team names. Literally the first one I sent, you went, yeah, that sounds good. I was like, God damn it. And then Beryl has got some weird obsession with toucan.
I love toucans. Look, I like birds a lot. I just don't talk about it. I don't have like a ton of bird motif stuff, but I really like birds, and thus I really like bird Pokemon.
So Beryl can be quite adamant that she's doing something when she wants to. So the fact
That's one way to put it.
Well, I'm being nice about it. Even though we didn't draft toucan, if we did, it would have been in the logo. If we didn't, it was still going to be in the logo, and I knew that from the outset. So I just kind of let her have it. I was like, you know what, that's fine. You have fun with that.
Yeah, I definitely thought about it, and I was making jokes in the MBL server about nobody else touches toucan because like maybe our draft went really well, and it's like, oh, we have sort of a throwaway pick. Then you know what, we're gonna grab toucan, and we ended up. I think Parasect was the last mon we drafted, which has put in a bit of work and more work than maybe toucan would have. So we just ended up not having space for it, but it's like it's on my draft team in my heart.
Maybe when it gets to if we top cut and we get to swap a couple mons, if it looks good, Beryl's going to try and position that again.
No, I already have some ideas for if we top cut, and it unfortunately does not include toucan.
Ah, well, what a shame. Next season.
Spoilers for everyone, all the other teams watching, we will not be drafting toucan in the top cut. So
yeah, they're all going to have to go back to the drawing board now because of that.
I know. You gotta think it through. Oh God, what are they gonna do?
What is the moment that would define your season so far? I'm going to throw a pun in here. What is your flawless moment of the season?
Oh, wow.
Okay, delete that. Editor's note to self, delete that. No. I would say for me, even though it was more of a mistake, it is more just like it defines me as a person really well, which was when I didn't switch out Mamoswine because we ran out of time versus Team Jamie, and we ended up earthquaking. Magearna had Groundberry, which is Shuka, and it lived. And I had totally forgotten that Magearna had the Shuka Berry. Had I remembered, I might have just been like, oh, why don't we do this? Because it really was like our best play, but it ended up working out because, we had prepped for that. We had actually thought about ground attacks and having the Magearna and the Mamoswine together. We'd actually thought about it, but it worked out accidentally, which is kind of my life. Things just work out on accident. So to me, that was just very much it was very memorable, I should say.
I've got one for like everyone's seen. There's a behind the scenes one which Beryl knows, which is the very first battle, the mess ups trying to get started. So that's my defining moment with you, Beryl. For me personally, I think when our week 2 battle against Cyberbaz, looking back at that, me and Beryl agree, yeah, we could have won that if we did things differently. But after that battle, even though it was a 1-0 loss, that kind of defined for myself, it's like, we are not messing around. We need to be taken quite seriously because we are up against heavy hitters. We are actually either winning or getting damn close to winning, because we came in kind of like underdogs. We were not, competitive battle. I almost said professional battle.
Yeah, we're definitely underdogs. It's us and a few other teams are definitely the underdog teams. That
kind of showed to myself, like, we've got a very good chance. I think we can go all the way, and everyone needs to remember that.
Now that I know this helps me figure out a little bit about how your minds work. Speaking of which, how do you feel the other analysts have been at predicting your mindset, of knowing what you're going to do or how you think?
Well, as I've been editing the MBL channel videos for the past few weeks, sometimes I listen to what the analysts have to say, and I'm like, they are completely wrong. And obviously, they're not in my head, and they're not there for the team building, and they're not there for everything. So, of course, they're not going to get it all right. They'll get what we choose to do, generally, correct, but not why, in my opinion at least.
A lot of the time when I'm watching the preview pick'ems and all that, I do find that, yeah, like Beryl said, they get some things are way off to the point where it's like, you're so wrong, how could you hurt me like that? We had such a good idea. Majority of the time, I think the analysts, they do a good job. They've got a lot of stuff to go through.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not going to be able to cover absolutely every single little thing. They will miss certain things, but I think overall I've been quite happy with the analysts, apart from when it comes to the pick'ems. They're doing this thing, they lock in who they think will win that this week. It's like a one-off, I don't know. And very few of them pick us, despite doing actually quite well. I think the analysts have a bit more faith in me and Beryl. That's my only gripe. Apart from that, I love them all. I think they all do a really good job.
Yeah.
And the final question I have here is, your team has one of the largest time zone differentials. You have 8 hours difference in between you. How much does that affect scheduling your team building?
A lot.
My God.
We basically schedule around what days Angus has off, because I'm currently in California, just basically sitting on my butt, you know, editing and stuff like that. But I can make my schedule work whenever. So it's basically, okay, Angus, when are you free? And we'll go from there.
Yeah, my work, I only work like 4 days a week, but I pull 11-hour shifts. So from 9 a.m. my time to 8 p.m. my time, I'm at work. I get home at like 9:15, and then I've got a window of like a couple of hours before I need to go to bed and get back up for work.
Yeah.
So we aim for my days off, but we've had to do a couple when I've like got right in from work. It is a challenge.
Yeah. We've kept him up pretty late.
But we're making it work. And as the NBL's gone on, it's gone a little bit better, a little bit more concise.
Normally I'd be in the UK, and I might actually be in the UK definitely before Top Cut, but maybe even before the last few weeks. So it'd be nice if I got back and we're still in it and we Top Cut, and then it's like, cool, we're on the same time schedule. So that would be nice. Also, Angus has his own channel he runs and he streams. He's quite busy. I mean, I want to give myself some credit. I'm quite busy too, but I don't have time constraints like Angus does. So we just work around whatever he can do, basically.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
No, you're working. You're out there, you know.
Gotta make that paper.
Blue-collar worker. You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's all the questions I have for you. Thank you guys for agreeing to do this interview.
Woo! Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you for doing it around my schedule.
Yeah.
Once again, no problem.
With that in mind, guys, definitely keep an eye on Team Flawless for the rest of the MBL. I've heard good things here. Let's hope that they can walk the walk.
Hell yeah.
Talking the talk.
Oh, I can walk the walk. I'm gonna take over this outro. Leave a like. Tell us in the comments below how you thought this interview went. If you want to see more. If you have some questions too, because we're always looking for questions. Well, not me, but us as the analysts. To ask other teams. Check out all the links. Go subscribe. Go join the fan server. Go buy a shirt. You know, the whole shebang. And that's it. We're out. Mic drop.
Wow.
I'm still getting used to YouTube outros. Help me.
And there you have it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.